Dive is the main role Warwick will play in a team fight, especially with the Warrior Wick build that I generally like to go. I feel that a lot of people believe Warwick is supposed to peel for his carries or initiate for his team, which is why I think that a lot of people see his late game as being terribly weak. There are much better champions for initiating or peeling, like Sejuani or Ivern or something else. But there are still roles that you will play on Warwick, which I'll talk more about in a few minutes, but I see dive as the best option more often than the other roles. When you are diving, you want to make sure you have the position to reach the backline. You usually won't be able to run straight through the entire enemy team to dive the carries unless you have flash, so you need to learn how to flank from the side or from behind and find the correct time to go in. The first person to engage the fight will usually be focused first, so if you're building warrior, you generally don't want to engage unless you have immediate follow-up, or else you'll just get kited or die half the time. The timing and position of the engage are just as important as the engage itself. That said, flash is your best friend for getting onto the carries guaranteed, but your ultimate can also be used. However, it is hard to reliably hit it and also to have it not get cancelled by CC. I just prefer it as follow-up if it is possible. Use your Q mechanics to follow flashes, dashes, and avoid displacements, obviously. It's really crucial if you're diving a carry like Ezreal or someone like that who can actually escape you if there's a lot of peel. The enemy team comp has a large impact as to how you play out a fight, so plan ahead and try to figure out how you can expect to use your Q and R to avoid CC and follow mobility spells. Diving an unprotected carry is easy, but diving one that has loads of shields and peel can be a pain. Only dive will actually work. Warwick functions best when he has someone to dive with. Your damage is pretty good, but you don't have the burst as hard as other assassins or bruisers, especially if the enemy team has a lot of tools to deal with you. So having a partner to either follow up on your dive, like Kinnan, or someone you can follow up on, like Jax, is ideal. If you find yourself diving alone and getting peeled off too well and end up dying before you can even get close to anyone, change your strategy and choose another role for the team fight. Anti-dive is probably Warwick's best role when the opportunity arises, since you have a lot of dueling power and CC to prevent enemy divers and assassins from killing your carries, and you don't have to commit your entire health bar to get to the backline. This is the role you will take if you want to deal with champions like Xin Zhao, Katarina, Yasuo, or Aurelia, just to name a few, who are a threat to your team. Your single target damage is very good, and your E allows you to prevent the burst that these champions have if they try to kill you. Your fear and ult make it easy to pin down these relatively squishy divers and ruin their combos. In addition, assassins and divers usually have a lot of mobility, so champions like Katarina or Zed won't be able to escape if you use your Q correctly, and you can follow their stuff. Also, some divers have stealth as a defensive tool, like Talon or Kha'Zix, but since your ult reveals stealth, you can make them free kills if they commit too deep. Peeling is somewhat similar to anti-dive as you focus the targets that are trying to kill your carries. However, instead of specifically focusing down a target and killing them, you are trying to disrupt the divers, tanks, assassins, or anyone else that is trying to kill your fed carry. This is the role that you will take if you have a marksman or a mage that can solo carry a fight if they stay alive. Sometimes I'll buy items like Zeke's Convergence or Knight's Vow if I'm useless and my carry is the entire team, but I rarely do so it isn't really worth mentioning in the build for this guide. But if you find yourself buying these items often, you would probably be better off playing something like Ivern. Regardless, your job as peel is to fear and suppress anyone that is trying to kill your backline. If you think you need to peel but also want some damage, Titanic Hydra is actually really good to build here because the splash damage will hit the enemy backline while if you are focusing the front line, allowing you to get full value out of the item. But to round things up, peel if your win condition is your backline. That does a lot of damage. Frontlining I think is a little bit overrated with Warwick and is often what I see new Warwicks do since they don't know how to properly flank, so they just run straight ahead and ult into the enemy team only to get stunned up and kill half the time. Of course, if you're a tanky, this is an option and your ultimate is a great engage tool if you can get a pick off of a good target. I actually do it all the time despite saying that engaging is overrated. Your ultimate plus E combo can be a massive engage tool for your team since you can get off a huge AoE fear for your team to follow up on. Sometimes I engage a fight, but dive the backline if I'm fed instead of just soaking damage for my team. However, when I'm behind or I'm hard countered, I usually will build as tanky as possible and just try to soak up as many abilities and CC spells as I possibly can so that the rest of my useful teammates can actually do something while I'm just useless. Your damage reduction is still bonkers and can make you very hard to kill if you get it off before you get focused and stunned and killed. You should also try to disrupt as many people as you can with your fear and use your ult to stop a big threat on their team. Like I said, Warwick isn't the best teamfight tank in the world, so I don't really like pick him for this reason, and I don't engage in frontline every single game. Build tank and frontline if you're useless, or if your team lacks a tank, which I suppose is actually pretty common in solo queue. But again, like I said, that's not the main reason you pick Warwick. These roles are generalized and won't tell you how to specifically play out every fight. Oftentimes, I will switch between my teamfight roles depending on the game situation, how fed I am, and what the team needs. Adapt your playstyle and utilize your mechanics to the max so that you can be hard to peel off, and if there is anything I want to stress with this section, it's that positioning and timing matters a lot when you are team fighting. So before I leave this section, I want to touch on a few things such as making picks with Warwick's ultimate. It's pretty self-explanatory. You just ult someone if they're caught out and you're outnumbering them as a team, but Warwick is very good with this, so you want to look for those opportunities if possible. I showcased a lot of the clips. And also chasing down kills, cleaning up a fight, and of course just focusing a target that your team agrees to focus. So that's about it for roles.